Hey Louise, how's it going? It's Yoni here. Leaving video feedback for people this week because I'm terrible at typing, and so I'm trying to see if I can actually get some more meaningful feedback out there just by talking to people instead of writing it down. I'm gonna see how it goes. Yeah, I looked at your cauldron um, animation from last week. Really nice smoothing. There's a great sense of weight to it. It's funny as well, you know. It's almost like you wish a few things kind of like were easier to do in 3D than in 2D, but it's really, really, really well achieved. Um, Really not many comments. There's just two things that jump out at me a little bit. It's mostly around when he picks the cauldron up in frame 88 to about 103. It's one of those things that in one of the lectures they told us that when he shifts his weight something onto his weight, it's almost like if it's very heavy you tend to roll it up your body to an extent, and so his back kind of like leans in a little bit, and then yeah, from frame 88 he kind of like leans in, he picks it up, and then there's a reverse of the spine, but the cauldron kind of like comes up over the knees to an extent, and it's almost like you want to tuck it into your body to an extent. So when he picks it up, instead of kind of like it kind of like it's almost like between frame 96 and 101, the cauldron should come in and the head should lean forward more. So it's like before, basically, when something's very separate from you, you lean out, and when you bring it towards you, you kind of like lean in. And that's just the thing that jumped out a little bit to me because it looks like it's so heavy that the part where he goes from frame 107 like that, it's like the head, I don't think it would swing forward. I think it would almost be more forward as he tries to push it up towards where he wants to go. And then that lean back that he does on frame 128, that's brilliant. That's exactly kind of like what it is. It's almost there. So it leans back, falls forward, and yeah, just a little polishing detail. One thing that would be great, difficult but great to put in, is like it's if the table could kind of like shake a little bit before it actually snaps. It's nothing really to do with the main animation. It's completely secondary, but that's something that I think is great. I love your sketches for next week. Your drawing puts mine to shame completely, and it's just such a dynamic sequence. I think it's going to work fantastically well. I love both the reference of yourself and the reference of the bucking bronco as well. And just having so clear that line of action, across the entire scene, that's going to be really interesting. I'm interested to see what you're going to do with the composition of this one as well, because it's so dynamic that it's like you might need a wider camera shot because it's a mix, because it's like if you do a kind of like a tight shot and you move the camera, it might have kind of like a nice feel to it, but I think if you keep it a bit wider, you might be able to just show kind of like a nice little thing, and have him kind of like flying out the window at the end. That's definitely going to pack a few little laughs as well, especially if the broom doesn't fly out the window at the same time, but that's just completely up to you. It's your animation. Yeah, I'm just looking at your reference here. Yeah, it's just some great little ideas here. It's going to be very interesting to see how you kind of like mix those two actions together. I think whether he starts with him picking up the broom or he already has it in his hand, it's going to be interesting. I think that that's probably one of the things that you might want to have a look at, of him kind of like really kind of like pumping up that broom over there, and as he gets onto it, almost like you almost need a pause where it's like he gets on it, and when he's actually on the broom it's like, okay, ready, getting ready, and then it just goes completely out of control, and I think that that might add some nice little texture in there as well. So no, it's looking great. I'm really looking forward to see the blocking, and when you do a public review, I'll drop you another line as well, and I'll see how this goes. So yeah, so let me know if this video thing actually works or not, because if it doesn't, I'll stop doing it, and I'll do something else. But have a great week. Take care.